Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? DIGGE546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so the Giants have got the Chicago Bears coming up. This is the legacy game. This is the throwback uniform game. Maybe I'll try to do some special kind of throwback themed live stream this Sunday. But throwback game, everybody's excited. Everybody that's going is definitely in for a treat as far as seeing those 90s and 80s uniforms. And I definitely say I'm excited to see it on TV. So we got the Bears coming up, and I'll get into my keys to the game and kind of overview of the team. The last couple of weeks or the last week, I included video. Video will be here again, film session, mini film session in as far as looking at the Bears plays, what was successful, what wasn't successful. But first, let's get to the injury report. Jalen Johnson is out for the Bears. David Montgomery is out. Starting running back is out for them, and David Montgomery is a good player in this league, a good running back, good starting running back, but Khalil Herbert really stepped up for them last week. Jalen Johnson, pretty much a lockdown cornerback the way he's played so far. I mean, he had, I think, about 60 or 70 snaps. Only gave up 4 yards. I think one catch for 4 yards. So he was playing lights out, but he's out today. So they've got some injuries in the secondary. Robert Quinn is also a guy who missed today's practice with illness. So that could be, I don't think it's COVID. They would have said that, but he missed today's practice with some kind of sickness. So we'll monitor that. He may play. He may not play. He may be 100%. He may not. Michael Parsons last week was sick. He ended up playing, but that is someone to watch because if he gets lined up on Evan Neal, we could see something similar to what we saw with last week. These are veteran, talented pass rushers, and it could go either way for Robert Quinn playing. So with the Giants, of course, the Giants have Kadarius Toney's out, Wan'Dale Robinson's out, Cordell Flott is out, Leonard Williams is out, Nick McLeod is out as well, and Nick McLeod was a special teamer, pretty much a veteran guy. I'm not sure if he was a veteran, but he's a guy that's pretty much a special teamer, a depth cornerback. But it's going to hurt the Giants' offense with, once again, Kadarius Toney out and once again, Wan'Dale Robinson out. Hopefully they can get healthy soon. Cordell Flott was playing better and better every week. I mean, the guy last week, I had some film going out, but I just couldn't get that out this week. I've been pretty busy. But Cordell Flott looks better and better every week on tape playing on the outside. And it was great to see him out there. But the good thing is, it seems like Aaron Robinson is coming back, and I think he's better than whatever else we would end up throwing out there at outside corner. So Aaron Robinson's coming back. Good tackler, great at setting the edge, great at coming on those blitzes. So good to have Aaron Robinson back this week. Now I want to take a look at the Bears. Last week they were 6 for 14 on third down, 2 for 3 in the red zone. So almost 50% on third down. The Giants have been really good at getting teams off the field. Even last week they were on third down. And 2 for 3 in the red zone. The Giants have been solid in the red zone, but I think Dallas last week converted a couple of times in the red zone, so the stats may be a little bit tilted. But essentially, the Bears, what they do, and I may have accidentally said the Bills, but essentially what the Bears do is they run the ball. They run the ball. They focus on running the ball. They don't abandon the run. No matter if you're ahead, if you're behind, they're going to continue to run the ball because they've been having some pass protection issues. And Justin Fields right now is still developing. He's still getting comfortable in that offense. So they're running that air out of that ball. So last week they had 281 yards rushing, and I attached a play here where Khalil Herbert really just makes a good run, great run blocking. So check it out right here. All right, so here, this is just what the Bears want to do. They want to run the ball. We know they want to run the ball. It's just about stopping the run. And on this play, we'll just take it frame by frame to start. Pull this back a little bit. They're going to motion. I think this is Cole Kmet across the line. That creates it. They're overloading this right side. And the running back actually does a good job of cutting back. This is Khalil Herbert back here. So they're overloading this right side. Everything is going right. But as you see, 67 right here is just kind of making sure that there's no backside penetration from this nose, or not a nose, a one tech right here. He's making sure there's no backside penetration there. And they actually use a fullback. The fullback, watch 35, he goes and seals this off. And as you can see, pretty much what they've done is they designed this as if it was going outside. It looks like it's going outside. But if you follow the fullback, you see this run is going up between, what's 75 right here? Between the guard and the tackle. This is where this run is going. So perfectly blocked. He has literally 5-6 yard hole right there. And it's just off to the races. And then watch Khalil Herbert in the open field, makes this guy miss, keeps his balance, keeps this guy up. It's just, I'm not going to play the whole thing because I don't want YouTube to strike me, but you just watch him break those tackles and go down the sideline. Nice vision by him. Nice cut, nice ability to keep his balance right there after just a whiff of an open tackle. I would hope our safeties will make that tackle. But nice play all around, perfectly blocked. Fullback, they actually use a fullback, and the running back just gets into the open field and makes a big play. So also, Justin Fields had 106 yards last week, which shows you they really run the ball. He only completed 8 passes. I think he threw it around 20-something times, so that's not a good ratio. But when he did complete the ball, his completions were 11 yards, 5, 20 yards, 24 yards, 16 yards, 18 yards, 7. So 5 of his 8 completions were over 10 yards. So when he is completing those passes, they're going for first downs. They're going for big plays. So that's something we have to watch out for. Most of them were on play actions, and the guys were wide open in the middle of the field. So Justin Fields, when he's not making those plays for first downs and he's not running it off that play action, he's been having some issues seeing the field, putting it frankly. He's been having issues seeing the field, seeing guys, anticipating things. So this is something that the Giants are going to have to take advantage of. They're going to have to take advantage of that. They're going to have to force some turnovers. I just think this is something that needs to happen for us to get out into a solid lead. So he got sacked 5 times, and I have a play here of him just not seeing the field as well as he should, and it ended up being an interception. So on this play, Justin Fields just doesn't see the field well. We've seen that at times with Daniel Jones, but Justin Fields misses about 3 open guys here, and he throws it to the only guy that's really covered. The only guy, the Bears are playing cover 2 right here, and the linebacker completely stays with the receiver running down the seam, and the 2 safeties are still in the middle of the field. So watch Herbert get the ball, drop back, and freeze it right here. You see this linebacker in the middle of the field right here, literally in the middle of your screen. I'll highlight him here for you. This linebacker right here is making a beeline back here to the middle of the field. He doesn't see anyone coming across this middle. So he's making a beeline back to this middle of the field because this is the weakness of the cover 2. So he's covering underneath to make sure that the quarterback can't get a seam there. So now that we have that part down, the linebacker's making a beeline back here. This receiver is going into triple coverage, and Fields decides to make this throw. So before I show what happened here, before Fields makes this throw, he's already in his throwing motion here. But while he's in his throwing motion, he's got this guy open. He's got this guy in the check down. He's got this guy. This whole space of the field is empty. And he could have made this throw. He's got enough zip on his arm. He could have made this throw, but it's just poor anticipation. Knowing that he's running with this linebacker, and you got 2 safeties back here that are both looking at him, and he makes this throw. Really ill-advised throw, and then he overthrows it, and he's got pressure. I think the guy hit his arm. He's got pressure there, and the ball just sails, goes a little bit over, and it gets intercepted. So next I'm going to talk about Khalil Herbert. And Khalil Herbert last week had 152 yards. He's only 5'9", but he's solid built. He's like 212 pounds. So for 5'9", that's pretty big. As I showed that video a little bit earlier, Khalil Herbert can get it done. He can get it done. He has good vision. He's breaking tackles in the open field. He hit a guy with a stiff arm. He's a guy that can get it done. So we have got to be disciplined, make those tackles, got to get guys down. The first guy, it got to be a swarm to that football, and we have got to still put our chin straps on and come to stop the run because Khalil Herbert can definitely get it done. Being honest, there's not really much talent at wide receiver. They got Byron Pringle. They got a couple of guys. I mean, Cole Kmet at tight end. They got a couple of guys that, of course, if you don't cover, they'll make plays. But I'm not really going to go deep into their wide receivers because I don't think it's a factor here because they really will run the ball over and over and over and over again. So as I said, Robert Quinn looks like he may or may not play. He's out with an illness, at least today in their practice. But they've had 6 sacks in 3 games, not an overwhelming amount of sacks. So I'm thinking this may be a lighter game compared to last week, especially against all the guys they have last week. This may be a lighter game for the offensive line. It all is going to start running the ball, but I'll get to that a little bit later. But Evan Neal is probably going to have a lot easier time playing. Even if Robert Quinn does come out there and play, I don't think he's at the level of DeMarcus Lawrence at this point in Robert Quinn's career. But it should be a much easier game for Daniel Jones to be able to have time in the pocket and make plays. Now, the issue is, are they going to be able to get open? Are the receivers going to be able to get open, even missing Jalen Johnson? Because Kyler Gordon, he's not a shutdown guy, but he's good enough to go against these guys that we have at wide receiver. But I wanted to show a play where you got a guy who's deadly back there in Eddie Jackson. By Eddie Jackson, Roquan Smith also had a nice break on the ball where he had an interception, but I'm only showing one play here for, a positive that the defense did. And Eddie Jackson back there just makes a nice heads-up play. Kendall Vilder, who's filling in for Jalen Johnson because he had some injury. He's out right now, but he's basically been a shutdown guy. But Kendall Vilder came in and he had a couple of nice pass deflections. He did give up some plays as well, but here's him just making a nice play and basically causing this interception. So Davis Mills drops back to throws it across the middle. Really simple here. Vilder kind of just dives across this guy's body, swats the ball, pops up in the air. Eddie Jackson, interception. So Eddie Jackson is definitely the star back there. He's been making plays for a while for them. They've also got Jaquan Brisker, a second-round safety this year. Solid rookie safety. He's bringing the heat. He's hard-hitting. He's a hard-hitting guy. And those are their 2 safeties. Like I said, Jalen Johnson is out, but Kyler Gordon is there. Kendall Vilder has made some plays. He's also given up some plays. But I have a tape here of they can be had. They can be had at times. And here's a play of Kyler Gordon not really being able to stay with a guy in man coverage and a kind of a funky play design that ends up being executed wrong. So on this play, the Bears are playing basically single high coverage. It's kind of like a cover 1 robber. This guy right here is going to make a beeline down here to the middle of the field. This guy's going to drop back to single high safety. So that's what's going on there. The rest of this is just man. I think he's manned up. Everybody's manned up. Everybody across your screen is manned up. So Kyler Gordon, number 6, right here in the slot. Kyler Gordon right here is manned up. And he just kind of loses his man. I don't know what happened here, but this is a big play that the Texans had because he kind of lost him in man coverage. He's dropping back, and as you see, that safety at the bottom of your screen runs down to the middle of the field, and that other safety rotates towards the bottom of the screen. That creates a void for this crosser. And Brian Dable likes to run those crossers across the field, so this creates a void there. They kind of get mixed up as the safety drops down. Kyler Gordon lets him go, and then he gets that separation across the field. No one's there. And this is because of play design and just a well-timed play call and poor execution all at once. But you got a guy running wide open. If this guy is a superstar, this could be a touchdown, but he gets a lot of yards out of this. Gets a lot of yards out of it. All right, so that's going to wrap up the section of the Bears coverage. Now I'm going to talk about what the Giants need to do to make sure they get this win. It's going to start running the football. And if you see me glancing left or right, it's because I'm looking at my notes. It's going to start running the football. But the Bears, they gave up 3.8 yards a carry last week, which isn't very good for the Texans, but they don't really have a Saquon Barkley on the Houston Texans. The week before that, they gave up 203 yards to Green Bay. So you can run the ball on them. But I think the week before that, they only gave up 2-point-something yards a carry. They've had 2 good games against the run and 1 really bad game against the run. So I think you can run the football on them, especially including Daniel Jones. I think we can run the ball on them, but it's about getting off to that early lead. Making Justin Fields throw the ball, making them do something that they're not yet comfortable doing in that offense. Daniel Jones has got to play like he played on Monday. And I bashed Daniel Jones in my post-game reaction video where it's just my live reaction to it. I love to get those videos up because I just like to get my initial thoughts on the game, win or lose. And I kind of bashed Daniel Jones. But after I looked at the tape, Daniel Jones had as good a game as most guys could have under that situation. He was under pressure all day. He was running for his life. He kept a ton of drives alive. He made a couple of nice plays actually, on the run, improvising. So Daniel Jones, if he plays like how he did last week, the Giants should have no issues winning this game. It's just about if the receivers can catch the ball. So he's got to do that. He's got to play smart. He's got to not force it, take what the defense is giving him, avoid pressure. He did that really well a couple of times. And if he does that, I think the Giants can win this game. Even under pressure, the Giants moved the ball well. It's something that I noticed. They only went 3 and out 3 out of those 10 drives. And one of those drives, we went 3 and out because Sterling Shepard dropped the ball and then Kenny Golladay dropped the ball. So that shows that the Giants offense is starting to work. Now, it hasn't translated to a bunch of points yet, but it starts in between the 20s. And the Giants in between the 20s are starting to move the ball. They're starting to get at least 1 first down a drive, which is big progress for the Giants offense. They've been horrible. So we got to continue to build on that. We're missing Sterling Shepard. He's out. We're missing Wandale and Kadarius Toney, but we've got to figure out a way to continue to get the ball to the little bit of playmakers that we have. And the playmakers that we have, although I was out on Kenny Golladay this weekend and I said I'm finished with him, although all of that is true, even still, David Sills tripped on that last play, caused the game losing interception. Kenny Golladay, Darius Slayton are our 2 most talented wide receivers, and Richie James is the guy that's been moving the chains. So we need big plays out of Kenny Golladay, out of Darius Slayton. We just got to have a couple of big plays in this game to get out to a good lead. And we need Richie James to be there to sustain drives for us. So those are going to be the 3 wide receivers I'm looking at. Of course, our tight ends off of the play action underneath will be open when they're keying down on Saquon Barkley. We've got to be able to get the ball to these guys, give them space to move, and continue to run this offense that's obviously getting better as far as between the 20s, even though we didn't put up a bunch of points. So it was good to see, even under pressure, the Giants offense seems like they're getting more comfortable. Daniel Jones, under all that pressure, looked more comfortable than he has all season back there throwing the ball. At the end of the day, we need Kenny Golladay and we need Darius Slayton to make plays to win any game against an NFL team. And then lastly, I'll get to the defense. Leonard Williams is still out, so that gives me a lot of concern. The only big plays that we've had have been when Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence were out of the game. And when Leonard Williams out, we've given up some big run plays. I don't think we've even given up anything over like 10 yards with Leonard Williams on the field. So that scares me because this team wants to run the ball. They want to establish the run. And if you don't stop the run against anybody, you're going to probably lose the game. So we have got to figure out a way to stop the run, whether that be putting Jihad Ward out there and just saying, listen, this game, Kayvon Thibodeau, you're just not going to play as many snaps. Jihad Ward has got to be able to set that edge and stop the run. Or, figuring out just rotating that defensive tackle that's in where Leonard Williams would play and just saying, listen, we got to rotate and get whatever guy we can in there to stop the run. Or Wink Martindale is going to dial up some run blitzes. But we've got to figure out a way to stop the run because this team is going out there telling you what they're going to do, and they've won a couple of games so far running the ball. So we got to figure out a way to stop them from doing what they're doing best right now. On top of that, if Aziz and Thibodeau are out there for most of the game, they did not have a good game last week rushing the passer. They just didn't. But even so, they've got to be devoted to stopping the run. This is not the game to come out and say we're going to get back to rushing the passer. Now, if it's there, it's there. But this should not be the focus. It should still be stopping the run, because even when the Bears were losing 24-7 in the fourth quarter to the Packers, they were still running the ball. So you can never stop. They're never going to abandon the run. It just won't happen. So Aziz and KT have got to lock in on the run. And then the third point is confuse Justin Fields. Confuse him. Wink Martindale is a master blitzer, master disguiser. He's got to be able to confuse Justin Fields and cause him to make a couple of turnovers, because that's going to help out this offense that's really hampered with injuries. We got to confuse him. We got to cause some turnovers, send some blitzes for some places where he's not expecting, and that will create turnovers all in itself. If we can get him I guess he'll throw it maybe 20 times a game. If we can have him confused most of that time, we're gonna get some turnovers. It's just that simple, and we're due for some. And then lastly, spy him with the safety. I've seen a couple of times where Justin Fields had guys open all over the field, and he still took off. And he's a threat in the open field when he's running the ball. So have a guy spy him. I would put Xavier McKinney on him, or if you want, Xavier McKinney more mixed into, playing more of a safety role, put Julian Love on him, but put someone who's just able to stop him from destroying the game. Do not abandon that dude and just send blitzes and leave wide open gaps, because you do not want to lose this game with, Justin Fields running for 80, 90 yards, or Justin Fields running for first down after first down. You just don't want to lose it like that. But it's really simple. It's a really simple game today or Sunday. It's stopping the run. Stop the run, because that's all they want to do. And then running the football. Running the football and stopping the run. That's how you win most games, but this is especially how you win this game. If we can get out to a good lead, and even though they haven't shown that they'll abandon the run, but if we can make them some sort of one-dimensional, we're going to win this game, because they have not shown anyone so far that they can throw the ball to a win. So secondary, still stay on point. Adoree Jackson had a bad week last week, but stay on point secondary. Still make sure that we're not giving up any huge plays, because as I mentioned earlier, Justin Fields has thrown for big plays, even on his 8 completed passes last week. So make sure we're not giving that up. But at the same time, just stop the run and we win the game. So you guys let me know what you're thinking of this Bears game. I'm picking the Giants to win. I didn't pick a score last week, and people thought that I was picking the Giants to lose. But I'll give you a score this week. I'll take the Giants 24, Bears 13. You guys let me know what you think of that. And hope you all who are going to the game, hope it's the best day of your life. It should be a win. It should be a win. We picked the Bears there for a reason. So let's go out and get a win. Let's go to 3-1. So overall, I think this is another game on the schedule where this team seems to be around the same level as the Giants as far as how they're playing. Cooper Rush has been solid. The Cowboys defense has been borderline elite, if not already elite. We got a couple of, superstar players that we got to watch out for. And, Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard together, I would say, is an elite running back at the worst. And then you got Michael Parsons, who could wreck the game. And then you got another guy who's going to jump every route in the book, Trayvon Diggs. And the Giants haven't been too aggressive. So if he's jumping a bunch of routes and is giving up, 10-yard plays, 15-yard plays, he's going to continue to jump those routes unless you're willing to really go deep against them. So we got some guys against us that can wreck the game. We have got to make sure to play disciplined football, play our game, play within our game, and everything else will fall into place. I think we're the better team constructed right now without Dak Prescott on their team. May the best team win. Go Giants. You guys let me know what you're looking forward to most this Monday. You made it this deep into the video. Come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.